did all of this like come together of you joining the team on the East Coast?
God, man, where to start? So it was a crazy story. I was at the gym that I was at when I was last on the podcast with you. Unfortunately, we kind of parted ways, and so I was in this limbo period of, I had brought in some Actually, I had brought in three of the athletes that are over at my previous gym to be on a team for quarterfinals and potentially semifinals. But obviously, since we parted ways, I didn't really have that in the front view mirror anymore. So it's kind of in this weird just limbo period of like, what am I going to do? I'm just kind of still like searching out my options in terms of a job. I had a pretty decent amount of gyms trying to court me in this whole process, but I wanted to seek out my best options and just kind of make sure I was making the right decision. And and then eventually I had a mutual friend. I don't know if you know Liz Mullica. Do you know who Liz Mullica is? She's a photographer. Well, I had this friend, Liz, who I had met through photo shoots that I had done with or Misfit back at like Wadapalooza, not this last one, but the year prior. And she kind of got the whiff of my situation, asked me what my plans were in terms of the Open. And I told her, I was like, honestly, I don't have an idea what I was going to do for the Open. I'm probably just going to hit up one of my nearby gyms and just do the Open there. And she was like, well, I have a friend out here in Massachusetts who's looking for a fourth person to join her team. Would you be interested possibly? And I was like, man, that sounds like a pretty amazing opportunity. But unfortunately, I don't have the financial means to just uproot my life and be out there for the 3 weeks of the Open. Because, by rule, if you want to compete under an affiliate, you have to be there for the, all three of the Open workouts. And she was like, okay, well, let me just get you in contact with her anyways. And you guys can kind of just go from there and just talk it out. And I said, all right, well, cool. So she ends up contacting me with this girl, Lindsay. Her name's Lindsay Grasses. She owns CrossFit 1977. And we were just talking, told her about my situation. And then she was like, well, I mean, I could offer you some classes to coach while you're here in the meantime for a means of income. And I was like, okay, well, that sounds pretty nice. So then I went back to my friend Liz, told her, I was like, well, here's the situation. She offered me a few classes to coach, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. This is the kind of the barrier of entry for me. He ended up getting me hooked up with another amazing gym, beautiful community called Carter Park CrossFit, located here in Chelsea, Massachusetts. That guy, I was talking to him, got me owner of the gym. His name's Koki. He got me a few classes to coach there as well. So then I go back to my teammates, talk to them, and this is all through like a group chat. Lindsay, other guy named Luke, and this other amazing female athlete named Danny. And I'm telling them, like, guys, everything's kind of lining up a little bit here. The only problem now is I can't spend like $1,000 on a rental to be out there for like 3 weeks and beyond potentially. So then I get back into contact with the owner of Carter Park. And I told him my situation. I was like, oh, man, listen, I really would love to go out there. The only problem is I don't have access to a vehicle. I just cannot spend $1,000 on a rental. And he was like, oh, well, you know what? I happen to have an extra car that I can just lend you. So literally the stars lined up. I got coaching opportunities, not only at Lindsay's gym at CrossFit 1977, Carter Park CrossFit, but then also this amazing other gym in the
Marlboro. Yeah, you said it right.
Marlboro, I always say it, area called CrossFit Crag. They also offered me a few coaching spots because I guess my teammate Luke works out there periodically, and his twin brother as well. So, man, the stars just lined up. Got the car. Literally was introduced to my teammates on a Saturday. Figured out all the logistics on Sunday, bought my ticket that Sunday night, flew in to Boston that I think Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't remember. I think it was a Wednesday. that Wednesday. So literally Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like 4 days later, met my male teammate Luke at the airport for the first time ever meeting him. Guy was amazing and let me sleep on his couch basically for 2 months through the 3 weeks of the Open and the quarterfinal stage, and literally met Lindsay and Danny for the very first time that Friday when we did the Open workout. Crazy, man. Complete strangers, and now they're like family to me, and I couldn't imagine not meeting them. So that's the crazy story. And we did the 3 weeks of the Open. I decided originally I was going to fly back after the Open, but financially I was like, that fucking doesn't make sense because I had to come right back for the quarterfinals. So I ended up just staying and living in Boston for 2 months through the Open, through the quarterfinals. And luckily we made it worth it and ended up qualifying in the East, which I learned very hardly that it's, or the hard way that it's competitive as hell here in the East. So luckily it made out well, finished 21st out of quarterfinals, heading to now the semis down in Orlando. But man, it's crazy though. If we plugged in our scores on the West, we were 21st in the East, we'd be 8th in the West, which is a game spot, man. So they gotta fix something out there. I know they're allocating extra spots to more competitive areas, but that's only for like the individuals. They didn't do that for the teams, man. It's crazy. The top 17 teams in the world are from the East, and only 10 of them get to go to the games.